Yeah, welcome to my second devlog. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my second devlog for Project Jesterio. I have been experimenting a lot the past 2 weeks, and really, it might have been a bit too much, but I wanted to create as much as possible before university starts again. I just started branching out into a lot of different aspects of the game, like advanced movement, enemies, weapon models, magic, a little bit into story, and so on. I did this in a sort of way to just throw things at a wall and see what sticks and what seems fitting for the general idea of the game. Just to name a few, some features I worked on were a fly mode and a mix and match combo system. For fly mode, we'll be needing that later on as a special ability. DC will be able to airbound, air dash, and air dive while in this mode. As for the combo system, using a blueprint library I created, I can now first create specific attacks and then just drag and drop them into a certain shield combo. I wanted to make this system as easy to use while implementing it and as scalable as possible. I've added a work in progress system for particle effects, and the weapon summoned by DC will be glowing and dispersing purple flames when summoned. These effects will be different from shield to shield. And yes, I've been thinking a lot about what kind of special weapon I wanted to give my protagonist here. And ultimately I decided on giving her a shield, as I've always been interested in seeing the creative methods one could use to be working with such a blunt object in some cases. So yes, she'll have a special shield, and the shield can transform depending on the gem inserted into it. I already have a variety of different shields planned out for the future, and I am very excited to be sharing them with you once they're done. I have also worked on enemy concepts and models, just a few of them, just to get a general idea of what I want the mobs to look like in my game. I wanted to conceptualize a few enemies and then begin making them in Blender. I really wanted a mix of robotic-looking enemies with more natural inhabitants of this alternate timeline that you're pulled into when you start the game. My favorite enemies so far are called Tantrum and Funcap. Tantrum can look pretty fierce while running towards you, I found out, and Funcap just looks kinda silly. And he's always trying to balance his mushroom cap every time he moves somewhere. Also, DC can cast magic. Although there isn't really a system in place for it yet, I have already created a sample concept. Each magic has its own element and evolution. So every spell has its own element to it, and that means it'll have its own effect, it'll have its own modifier, depending on the kind of shield you're using for it. As an example for this type of concept, I'm taking my idea of a time spell, and its initial name would be, for level 1, Temp, like temporary, just temp. And its evolution would be called Tempora, and the next would be Tempata, and the last one would be Temporos. Of course, from level to level and evolution to evolution, the effects these spells create are different from one another, and as well as the damage they can cause. Another example would be Fire, but this time, instead of looking at its name, I'd like to focus on its effects. And the base form of the fire spell would be launching a small homing fireball at a targeted enemy. But once it's evolved to its final stage, you'll be able to concentrate on an area. You'll basically designate a magic circle that you're looking at and then just cast a giant explosion, which is able to attack multiple enemies at once and have immense destructive power. Once again, I thank you for watching and listening to my concepts. I've just recently created an Instagram page along with a Facebook site in order to post short updates. These will be linked in the description below, along with my also recently created itch.io page, where I will be uploading my first prototype soon. So, please stay tuned for that and let me know how the game feels so far.